With housing affordability becoming a growing challenge, more seniors are tapping into their home equity to help their children and grandchildren buy homes. But is using a reverse mortgage for a down payment a smart financial move or a risky gamble? Join me in discussing the rising trend of reverse mortgage gifting, its benefits and potential pitfalls. We're speaking with Yvonne Ziomecki Fisher. She's the EVP of Marketing and Sales at Home Equity Bank. Yvonne, thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Perfect. Thanks so much for joining us. So, we're seeing a rise in seniors using reverse mortgages to help their children and grandchildren to buy homes. What would you say, is that something that you've noticed more, and how prevalent is that issue?
It's something we have noticed over the past few years with the increase in real estate prices and housing affordability. I mean, you cannot turn the TV on or read a paper without there being an article about how difficult it is for young people to get into the real estate market.
Yeah, no,
right?
Yeah, no, absolutely, for sure. So, some experts warn that reverse mortgages can erode home equity over time. So how do you respond to concerns that seniors might be jeopardizing their financial security?
We always tell people that reverse mortgages are not for everyone. It really depends on individual circumstances. It really depends on how long people plan to stay in the house, how much the house is worth, their lifestyle, etc. So definitely not the product for everybody, or not the way to use the equity in the home for everyone. But there are a lot of people who have houses that they bought, in the 60s and 70s that are worth now north of $1 million. Average house in Ontario is $834,000. But I haven't seen a house, in GTA at that price. It seems to be that they're all a lot more expensive. So there are a lot of people who have a lot of equity in their home. Mortgages are fully paid off, and they're living, relatively comfortable lifestyle, yet their either adult children or grandchildren are having really difficult time to get into the real estate market. So it really depends on the family circumstances. We do know that in Ontario specifically, over a third of new house purchases get some sort of assistance from family. So it could be from, an investment account, could be from a line of credit, or could be from a reverse mortgage.
Right. So what are some of the things that seniors should consider before using a reverse mortgage to help family members with a down payment?
Well, I think, any financial decision should never be made in isolation. So they should, if someone's coming to them asking for help and they want to do that, they should look at the full financial picture. So how much do they have saved? What is their monthly inflow and what is the monthly outflow? Do they have pensions coming in? Do they have any other money coming in, and how much they're spending? And we know right now people are spending more because of inflation. Everywhere you turn, everything seems to be more expensive. So first of all, they need to make sure that they are financially comfortable. Mm-hmm. And then they can talk to either their trusted financial advisor, they can talk to us, they can talk to family to figure out what would be, is there money that they could free up from the house and give to the young ones. And, we're finding the gifts are not, the amounts are not massive. It's about $100,000 that people get in terms of help.
That's pretty massive.
I know, but when you have a $1.5 million house,
right.
I meant it more in that context. I agree. It can make a huge difference. And if you think about how much it costs to rent, I was just checking as I was preparing for our conversation this morning.
Yeah.
I was just checking, to rent a townhouse in Toronto is $3,000. That is massive. That's per month. Right?
Absolutely. And you're right. After 3 years, that's almost $100,000 that they've wasted.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
And how can they save during that time if they're paying that kind of money for rent? So I guess everything is relative.
Absolutely. Yvonne, before we let you go, how old do you have to be to qualify for a reverse mortgage?
You have to be 55 years old.
Okay.
That's the minimum age. Now, at 55 years old, we won't lend you a ton of money. So it really depends. What we lend depends on age and value of the house, etc. So the older you are, the more money you can qualify for a reverse mortgage.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Yvonne. That's very helpful.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
My pleasure. Have a great day.
Thank you. That was Yvonne Ziomecki Fisher. She's the EVP of Marketing and Sales at Home Equity Bank, all about the reverse mortgages and how a lot of people are using those to help their children and grandchildren get into the housing market. Back to snow, because that just seems to be our day today. We've got a couple of texts coming in from listeners. One person saying that they love the talk about the snow. There's a nurse here driving back and forth from the hospital in Barrie. The roads are definitely giving me a run for my money. Somebody else who said in Ontario, Canada, the fine for putting snow on a highway, whether by shoveling or plowing, can range from $60 to $1,000, depending on the municipality and the circumstances, with additional court costs and victim surcharges added on top. Whoa, that is crazy. So does it feel to you that we're experiencing the worst winter in many years? It doesn't seem like there's an end in sight. It's always too cold. There's too much snow coming. Like today, literally 2 centimeters of snow coming down almost every hour today. So stay safe. Coming up next, we're going to speak with a senior climatologist for Environment Canada who will help us understand exactly what's going on. It's currently 7:42. You're listening to DeVelle Morrison live on 640 Toronto. It's currently -6 and the snow just keeps coming down.